In this video, let's look at how financially conservative or liberal consumers affects our business as well as the products we sell. We will discuss examples from Australia, India, and consider contexts such as coronavirus, economic booms, and recession. When we are talking about financially conservative or liberal consumer, we are referring to the attitudes of people towards money and how it is managed. In general, financially conservative consumers tend to spend more frugally, avoiding debt where possible, affecting their spending habits, frequency of purchase as well as the types of products being purchased. For example, financially conservative consumers are less likely to buy products on credit or make use of buy now pay later services, as they would rather save their money to buy the product outright. Whereas a financially liberal consumer is more comfortable taking on debt for items they would like to consume now and purchase more frequently. For example, buying a car on loan or paying for a meal with a credit card rather than saving up for it. Information on this aspect of culture can also indicate preferences for matters such as credit or cash purchases, and may also indicate if consumers in these locations are likely to make large purchases and pay them off over time, or whether they are more inclined to save and make purchases once the money is in hand. These decisions will also be influenced by the stage in the economic cycle that the target market is currently experiencing. The term economic cycle refers to the fluctuations of the economy between periods of expansion where the economy is growing, and there are many opportunities. Whereas economic contraction refers to recession, during which time economic output, employment, and consumer spending tends to drop. Traditionally, Australia enjoys a reputation for a reasonably high level of fiscal conservatism at the government level. As a result of this, when the Australian Treasury and OECD compare Australia to other G7 nations, Australia has a very low level of public sector net debt. Though the Australian government is more fiscally conservative, at the individual level there is a relatively high level of debt, thus implying that Australians are reasonably comfortable using credit facilities to fund purchases, making the people of Australia more financially liberal. In saying that, after many years of low public debt, Australia is seeing a much higher debt burden as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, posing a risk to economic growth in the longer term, reduced fiscal flexibility, and a diminished capacity to respond to future crises. The COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented shock to the global economy that caused large and unexpected changes in household spending behavior around the world. Lockdowns impacted on household activities in Australia, as there was limited opportunities to consume services and people switched to purchasing more goods online, further fueling household debts. Consumers' spending habits and financial outlooks can change over time, influenced by external factors. Particularly if the economic data for the country or region show the economy to be slowing down or entering a recession. For example, luxury goods or services may struggle in this sort of environment, as consumers adopt more conservative approaches to financial management. Conversely, in times of growth the opposite becomes true, as consumers become more financially liberal. India has been an interesting emerging market for years, with consumers moving away from more traditional frugal conservative economic mindset towards more financially liberal approaches at the individual level. This has been fueled by the continuous rise in the spending power of the Indian middle-class households, shifting consumer spending pattern, increase in digital use, increased spending on leisure activities and online shopping, resulting in an increased uptake of both credit and debit cards in recent years. The huge demand for payment cards has provided growth opportunities for card issuers, suppliers, and manufacturers, which in turn provides greater opportunities for local and international business selling their products online. It's safe to say financially conservative or liberal consumers affects our business as well as the products we sell. In a country or region where individuals have a highly conservative approach to financial matters, any prospect of easy credit or relaxed credit terms may not be well received, and therefore the consumers are less inclined to purchase items that are not considered staple or for everyday use. It's vital to analyze consumer cultural information to determine how it can affect our business when operating in an international market. As a business, we need to ensure that any international marketing activities that are being considered are not based on false assumptions and appropriately applied to overseas markets.